just dust this off a little bit. I'm such a dork. Hello, Swifties. Hi, we're going to be talking about the track list. Also, I did a reaction of the podcast, but apparently there was a glitch on YouTube and I missed 20 minutes of it. So at the end of this video, I'm also going to finish my reaction to the podcast just in case there was anything that I missed. I think I got most of it, but come on, 20 minutes of more of that. I was already just super impressed. So yeah, today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the track listing. I'm going to give you my predictions just based on the titles, what I think the song are, what they're going to be about. And then I'm also going to give a ranking of, I'll give my ranking of what I think my favorite songs will be without even hearing them. And then it'll be fun because when I do the reaction and I do the final track ranking, then we can look back and laugh about how wrong I was. And so I'm really excited about that. I've written some notes. So in the video, I will be kind of going back and forth between my notes and looking at you. That's why I'm doing it, because I just did this quick. And I wanted to get this video out because I'm so excited. By the way, hello, welcome to Passion Dump of an Autist. My name is Val, Swiftie since 2009, but I am excited to do more Swiftie content, more Taylor Swift content, because I started this channel just right in that between, you know, when the Eras tour was over, there was nothing really to react to. Anyways, I'm really excited to be in my full Swiftie bag because that's where it all started for me. And anyways, if you love Taylor Swift, if you love Lana Del Rey, Aurora, One Direction, who else am I doing? Lady Gaga and Mitski. I keep forgetting to mention Mitski. Mitski is actually a priority deep dive right now. So there's pretty much one video per week of Mitski going through her discography. So anyways, if any of those sound interesting to you, then make sure to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. It really helps the channel. I also have a Patreon. That was hilarious. Sorry, I took this deep breath because I'm just talking. So I feel like my personality changes, and it's just because I get really excited. It's like I go back into this, I don't know, like inner teenager when I talk about Taylor Swift, but you'll notice the other videos, I feel like I have a little bit of a different approach. And it's not me trying to be anything. It's just Taylor Swift brings out the like giddiness in me, I guess. Anyways, my point is I took this deep breath because I'm not used to talking so fast, because I'm not used to being so joyful and excited all the time. Anyways, I have a Patreon and I put up my uncut reactions. I'm pretty consistent with that. So if you're loving my content, it's a great way to be part of a community and get the uncut stuff way ahead of YouTube. Check the link in the description for that. Okay. All right, guys. I want to hear your takes on these track listings. Let me know if I'm just off my rocker, if I'm just wild with my takes here. I want to hear it. So let's go. Without further ado, let's go into The Fate of Ophelia. This one I'm really excited about. And yes, I brought out my complete works of William Shakespeare in order to take a look. Now, I did see someone, I think it was on Twitter. Yes, I still call it Twitter. I think I saw someone talk about because I did notice the 47 that was said. I think she said like 47 million, and then 47 was used another time, I think. And so I did pick up on that, but I didn't know what it was from. But someone mentioned that act in Hamlet, which we know it's based on Hamlet, Ophelia. In Hamlet, Act 4, Scene 7 is actually the scene where we find out that Ophelia drowned. Brilliant, the people who figured that out. So I'm not taking credit for that, but I do a little bit more of a deep dive into that. I did I have read Hamlet. I've seen it on stage as well. It's been a long time though, to be honest. So I don't consider myself a master of it, but I'm familiar. Okay, so I wrote some notes and we deep dive into the scene a little bit. Okay, so in the scene, Queen Gertrude, I think this is where we find out that Ophelia has drowned. Okay, so Queen Gertrude is explaining to Ophelia's brother that while Ophelia was trying to hang up these like flower crowns that she had made and like braided, putting all these different flowers into it, she tries to put it up on this branch on a tree. But as she's doing that, a branch breaks out from under her and she falls, tumbling into this moving brook. And then the queen explains to the brother that it's kind of strange the way she talks about it. She basically says, Ophelia, her clothes get like drenched, and so at first it kind of keeps her afloat, and she's just like singing and strangely kind of not understanding the impact of what's happening to her or the danger that's happening to her. And then eventually, obviously, when you're wearing a bunch of clothes, it's going to weigh you down. It weighs her down, and she meets her fate, her death of drowning. This is the little part. There's a whole big speech. I won't read the whole speech, but this part, just so you can hear that part of it, because I think this part of it, this is my prediction anyway, I think this section of it will be the main what we're talking about in this song. So this is the speech. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old lauds as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death. And so what I'm thinking here is that this song might be about Taylor's kind of need to ensure, especially during the Eras Tour, it was massive, right? She had so many dates, and it was really important for her to ensure that the show must go on, right? And I think maybe this is her reflecting on, being that mirror ball and feeling the need to sometimes do things and continue on to things and sing. Like, it's really interesting that the character Ophelia, we talk about her singing before she's drowning. It's very interesting parallel there. So I said her need to ensure that the show must go on, and being that mirror ball constantly can sometimes cloud her judgment maybe around her own safety. So they actually did talk about it in the podcast where they're talking about her going out all the time when she's sick, when she's feeling these multiple ailments, and she's just pushing herself to that brink. She might have had this kind of realization that she's like, man, what am I doing to myself in the name of the show must go on, being this showgirl? Yes, and the other thing I wanted to note was that Ophelia in general is heavily in the play, heavily influenced by the men in her life. So her father, Hamlet, her brother that we were talking about. And so there might be an aspect or a theme of that as well. And so I wanted to point that out as well. Oh yeah, and I made that connection too, and I thought that might have been interesting because we have the track's eldest daughter, and what was the other one called? Father Figure, which could be, talking about the men in her life, or perhaps just the father in her life. We don't know yet, but could be a speculation for sure. Okay, moving on to track 2, Elizabeth Taylor. This one was really interesting, and there's definitely a lot of parallels. So I pointed out that Elizabeth Taylor began her career as a child actress. Obviously, we know Taylor started her career quite young. She became famous quite young as well, so there's a parallel there. Elizabeth Taylor was actually also known for being like stunningly beautiful, but also being a really incredible actress. But also the media, paid a lot of attention to the fact that she had like 7 husbands in her lifespan. And so I just thought that was interesting because I know Taylor, the media focuses a lot on Taylor and who she's dating and all that, more sometimes than the actual art of it. Even though she's this incredibly talented person, the media is always, it's more important for them to report on, who she's dating or something like, well, think blank space vibes, right? And then I also said, as a prediction for this one, we might be talking about maybe the like pressure that she feels to kind of find the right one and not be going through all these cycles of breakups. It probably was really difficult, after having that. Well, obviously, we know it was very difficult, but just this one aspect of it was what I meant. The aspect of, and I guess she talks about it in, God, which song am I talking about? In How Did It End? Just like what it's gonna be like to, you're in this 6-year relationship that everyone said or thought was endgame. She called it endgame, and now you have to, come out with a statement for the whole world and everyone's going to have an opinion on it. And I don't know, I do see the parallels with that and kind of the way people talk about Elizabeth Taylor. So I'm really interested in that one. Yeah, I have a feeling that that's what it's going to be about. It could be like a more like fame I mean, it will be fame focused because that is part of it. But I think it'll be more about that side of it than like a Clara Bow fame aspect. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm confusing myself at this point. Okay, let's move on to number 3. This one is really interesting to me. So I'm sure everybody's done a Google search of what an opalite is, because I was like, I've heard of it, but what is that exactly? So it's a man-made opalescent glass that actually imitates an opal. The interesting thing about opal, obviously, it was mentioned in the podcast, so, ears perk up. Libra mentioned as well, because we've got all those Libra birthdays, but specifically in October, Libra in October, because opal is the birthstone of October. What I'm thinking this is going to be, I think it'll be that idea of, there's this kind of trope that I hear talked about where sometimes you think you found the one, but then it always ends up that one that you think was the one, you end up finding the actual person or the actual one right after that one that was like a false the one. I'm confusing myself. But there is a trope like that, and I feel like it might be like that, where it's like, she thought it kind of happened twice, because I think she thought that Joe was, and then I think she really, the other, well, I forget his name every time because I don't, Matt Healy, right? I think she really did think he was, a twin flame or, something like that. Deep soul connection, the one that got away. I think she really did see that as because I think she had created that in her mind over several years, as we do. And I think she's going to relate them as they were like opalites, and now she's found her opal. I think that's what it's gonna be, like these blokes warm the benches kind of vibes, I think we're basically gonna be talking about like faded connections, and I'm really excited about that, because I think it's that idea where, when people say, when you stop looking, that's when your actual person shows up for you. So I think she was probably in this weird place, and then she was, working on Tortured Poets Department at the time and finishing that up, and then this thing happens that she talked about in the podcast, which was really cool, by the way, that we got to get more of an insight of her inner world on how that worked, and her teasing him and stuff like that was very, very cute. But anyways, I think that's what Opalite is going to be about. That's my prediction, and I think it's going to be amazing. Okay, let's move on to father figure. So this one in particular, I have a feeling that it's not going to personally resonate with me as much, but I think it will be resonating with a lot of people, and I think it's still going to be an amazing song, obviously, but I just, knowing my life experience, which is growing up without a father, and also the fact that I don't think I want kids at this point. I'm 38 and I don't see anybody, that I would want to do that with, but like also I'm like 80% a no myself, like not even talking about a partner, but like myself, my own personal thoughts and opinions on it. I'm like an 80% no at this point with like a creak of a door open, but like mm, I think it's a no. I think we're at a no at this point, which I am okay with and have accepted. Obviously, I've done a lot of soul searching on that over the last few years because I have to, right? And yeah, so I guess my point to that is whether we're talking about it, however, whichever way we're talking about father figure, I don't think I'm going to relate to it. So I just want to say it's not one that I am going to be excited about, but I totally understand that it's probably going to be absolutely amazing and it's going to resonate with people, and that's great. So what I found out that there is another song called Father Figure by George Michael, and when I looked it up, it gave me really creepy vibes. I think. So I have a feeling it's not related to that, but who the frig knows? I don't know. My questions, I guess, is this about her dad, father figure, or could this be about her seeing someone as like would be a good father figure? I don't know. That one, I have a feeling it's not that, because she just, as she shouldn't, doesn't, if she doesn't want to, she doesn't talk about this because she's, everybody has bombarded her with questions over that because she's getting older, similar age as me. So yeah, I have a feeling it's not that, but it could be. So I wanted to mention it. But that one would really surprise me, and I feel like it would be going against her own boundaries that she seems to have set. But who knows? Like, if that's what you're thinking about and you want to write about it, you could. But it's probably about her dad, is my assumption. I think that's what most people are assuming. I don't know. And then eldest daughter, let's move on to track 5, eldest daughter. I think this one we are going to be diving into the people pleasing wound that we heard about in You're Losing Me. The eldest daughter is often seen as someone who kind of must take care of their siblings, must take care of their aging parents, and that kind of creates this people pleasing wound. And we already know that she's, admitted to struggling with this in the past. So I think we're just going to dive into that. And as a people pleaser, I mean, mine came from a different place. I wasn't the eldest daughter, but I did have an emotionally unavailable mother. And as I said, I didn't grow up with a father. So I also became a people pleaser for my own reasons. And so I think if it is about that specifically, I will resonate with it deeply. It's just not coming from the same place. But that's my prediction for that one, and I think it's gonna be, well, it might be heart-wrenching. I don't know. It's hard to say because we know that she's gonna get really lyrically deep, but then they're also gonna be like amazing pop bangers. So it's hard to say. It might just be upbeat enough to not absolutely, lose your shit crying over it. But I have a feeling that a lot of these songs are going to be like, if you were to read the lyrics, I think they're going to be a lot more deep and possibly sad and melancholic than what they're presented as in the production, which I love. I love stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Okay, let's move on to track 6, Ruining the Friendship. And I know a lot of people say that it's rumors to be about Blake Lively. I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I didn't really follow that situation a lot. I don't know much about that, but that could totally be it. I think that's a really good guess. It probably is. It also could be about like anything, any friendship that she has that we're not necessarily privy to. It could be about that. I also had another idea. It could be completely kind of flipped, a completely different meaning than what we originally think. Because obviously, ruining the friendship, I think most people's brain would go towards this like friendship diss track, right? But what if it's about, because she has written about this trope before, this like friends to lovers kind of thing, and that dynamic where, you know, if you cross that line from friendship into a relationship, how that ruins the friendship. That could be something that is completely unexpected, not what you would think, which she does sometimes. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. So I don't know. I wanted to toss that in there as well because I thought that could be interesting. Okay, moving on to track 7, Actually Romantic. I'm excited about this one. I think this one definitely is Travi's song, and I'm excited. My guess for it is, I don't know, I just came up with something that I thought would be an interesting concept of like, maybe it's the way that, you know, you find these moments that maybe like from an outsider point of view, you wouldn't think are all that romantic, but when you're living them, these like small moments that maybe other people would see or maybe scoff at or think is silly, maybe you're like, oh wow, no, that actually was so romantic. That's actually romantic. I don't know. That's how I'm reading it. Could be simple things like, you know, like a look around the room, a look across to each other or from across a field, perhaps, you know, or maybe the way like he defended her in front of his friends, or like just like little things like that that you don't necessarily automatically think are super romantic. Maybe things that her previous partners didn't do for her, and she's seeing these things and going, oh, that's actually really romantic. I don't know. That's my take on that, but it could be more simple than that. I like to complicate things. Okay, moving on to track 8, Wish List. Okay, so my take on this one is that I think this is going to be a Glitter Gel Pen song version, or kind of like an act, like a resolved version of The Prophecy. I think it's gonna be like The Prophecy Part 2, but a glitter gel pen, and like what actually happened. Like she actually got her wish from, you know, she said the prophecy and she's like, can I actually have this? And now she has it. I think what made me think of that was her pointing to the money signs. I think it could be something like how all the money in the world that she has, which we know she has a lot of it, couldn't find her love, this thing that she's always wanted. But how finally kind of surrendering to the universe and making this big declaration and just kind of surrendering to that is what finally allowed this love that kind of embodies everything that's on her wish list to come into her life. I don't know. I think it'll be really quirky and cute. I don't, that's my idea what wish list would be. I think that would be really cool. Okay, moving on to track 9, Wood. This one might be one of the most anticipated ones for me. Instantly, I think that I don't think this is actually what it is, but all I can think of with a track called Wood is like naughty things, because I have that kind of brain. I don't think it is going to be like that. That would be amazing if it was. I mean, I'm here for it if it is. Like, let's do that. Like a bunch of sexual puns. I would love that. I would be here for it. But I have a feeling it's not. I do, however, think it will be funny. So this is what I wrote about it. I said, my guess is something like how having conversations with previous partners felt like talking to a log of wood compared to how Travis lights up her world and has helped to bring the color back in her face. So I think it'll be like, yeah, they were just like a log of wood compared to you. I don't know. I have no idea. That's all my brain could think of with wood. So that's where we went. And I think it would be hilarious if it was. So anyways, moving on. I'm so embarrassed. Sorry. I'm having too much fun with this. Okay. Moving on to track 10. Cancelled! Okay. I think Maybe it's not, but I think this one actually could have like a political undertone. So I'm thinking it might actually be kind of a metaphor for what's going on in the States politically, and she might have a take on it. But kind of, and I also said with like this petty, childish tone. So similar to how Miss Americana was done, where it's like this high school sports game that's actually just a commentary on, being on the losing side of the election back in 2016. I think it could be that. It could be something like that, and that would be interesting. Or it could just be like her fears of getting canceled. I also said it also could be like maybe not the fear of getting canceled, maybe she's like fantasizing about being canceled and like and going off and buying a private island to, just nest in with and retreat with her man. I don't know. It could be that too. I don't know. Those are my ideas for canceled. I'm definitely interested in that one though. Okay, and number 11 is Honey. I really just think this will be like a sweet, gushy love song for Travis. I don't know. The other thing I thought of is maybe it could be like if we're using Honey in like a condescending way, it could be a diss track. That could be interesting as well. But that's all I had. Like, what else am I going to say about Honey? I don't know. And then on to track 12, The Life of a Showgirl. I think this one will be, in the same vein of The Lucky One and Clarabelle and Mirrorball, where it'll be like the inner world of, that the Mirrorball thing again of being a celebrity. And I said, because I thought this was interesting, because I think this could be actually be true. I said, I think it will be a sparkly glitter gel pen song on the outside, but maybe like drenched and like masked with like masked sadness and melancholy in the lyrics that you might not even pick up on the first go. So not even like I Can Do It With a Broken Heart was obvious that it was sad in the lyrics, but like upbeat in the production. I think it might even be more covert. I think we might be able to pick out some sadness, like I said, masked sadness and melancholy in the lyrics of this song, but I think it's going to present as this, well, it's going to be a showgirl. So it's going to present as this very, dramatic, showy, whatever, but I think we check into those lyrics because I think maybe the second, third, fourth time we might actually pick out some melancholy in there. That's my prediction for that. Okay, let's go on to my ranking to see what I think are going to be the best ones or the ones that I'm most excited about. Okay, so for number 1, the most anticipated song for me is going to be The Fate of Ophelia. I love that concept, especially going back and reading that scene again. It's just so interesting. There's so much to parse from that. There's so much to kind of talk about in that theme, and I'm really excited to hear that perspective of it. If that is, I'm talking about it like I've gotten this right, but I'm really excited about that one. So that is the number 1 anticipated one for me. The fact that it is track 1 means it probably is very good, and she probably thinks it's very good as well. Number 2, I put as Wood because I'm just so curious and I'm just so excited, and it's just such a random title, and it's got to be good. It's got to be good. I think it's going to be funny. I do think it's going to be funny. I don't know. I just have a feeling. Okay, next anticipated track number 3 is Opalite. Just if it's the concept that I'm thinking it's going to be, like that, warming the bench, the blokes are warming the bench type idea, and talking about faded connections and things like that, I'm going to freaking love that. So yes, number 4, I put Honey because I don't know, I really want a gushy, lovey Honey song, and I'm excited about it, and I think it's gonna be good. Number 5, I put as The Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina Carpenter. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's probably gonna be a single. I think we're gonna get a music video for it, and I think I'm gonna like it. Number 6, I put as Eldest Daughter. I think I think that one's going to have a lot lyrically that is going to be absolutely stunning talking about that topic. I'm just really excited about that. Number 7 I put as Canceled. It's very interesting, and when she makes a point to point certain things out too, it just excites me. So anyways, so Canceled. Number 8 I put as Actually Romantic. I'm just excited about, I'm just in my gushy era, even though I'm here lonely as a 38-year-old woman single. I'm excited to be lifted up and get excited about love again. It's been a while. I went through quite a heartbreak about a year and a bit ago. So I'm excited. I'm excited to gush a bit. And then next one I put as Elizabeth Taylor. I think it's going to be a very interesting song, and I just love the parallels, so that's why I put it there. And then the bottom 3 for me. But I think I'm gonna love them all, to be honest. Like, I'm just gonna say it now. I'm kind of sad that I put Wishlist as number 10, and I feel like I'm gonna like it better than, I don't know why I put it on the bottom 3. Why did I do that? I don't know. We'll keep it. I did it by intuition, so whatever. We'll keep it. I'll stand by it, but I really think I'm gonna like them all, so it's not gonna matter. Yeah, so I put Wishlist number 10. I put, for number 11, I put Ruin the Friendship. It's just never, especially if it's like a petty one, it's just, they're never my favorite, to be honest. Like, I don't hate me, don't come for me. I really don't like the song. This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. It's like, it's my least favorite song off of Reputation, and it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing, and if it's like that, then it just won't be my thing, and that's okay. That's okay. And then number 12 I put as Father Figure, probably for all the reasons that I already explained, that I don't think it's going to resonate with me, but we'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe it will, and I'll love it, and I don't know. I have a feeling that it's just, and it's more like just a personal thing. It's just a personal resonance. I don't think I'm going to personally connect to it. And for me to really love a song, I need like a way in to personally connect with it. So that's why I said that. Okay. Oh my God. This ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be. I really thought that this was going to be like a 10-minute part of the video. And apparently I talked for 37 minutes. Okay. So let's move on to the rest of the podcast. I'm super excited to see what I missed. It was so weird how it had that glitch. Okay, here we go. I think this is about where I finished up. So here we go.
Pre-order it now. There we go.
Yeah, on my website.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys.
Yay!
You heard it here first, folks. The Life of a Showgirl is available now. You can pre-order it. And the official release date is 10/3. That's October 3rd.
Yes, sir.
So excited.
All right. We are going to move to We Gotta Ask. You don't have to answer. Taylor,
Okay.
I know you're familiar with this segment, but for anybody
these
listening,
are like
this
little
is a segment we
Okay.
often get to where our guests, we're going to ask a bunch of rapid fire questions. They are not
It's like a
obligated to
question
answer.
answer. That's
As a
cool.
matter of fact, they are free to tell us to fuck off if they so
Fuck
choose.
off.
Okay, cool.
If you so choose.
All right.
All right, now, how do you feel about Jason telling his kids that cats are poisonous?
It was actually really a great challenge because as soon
This is
as
amazing.
I got the kids around the cats, it was my goal to prove to them that they weren't poisonous. And there's no better way to prove that than to just hand them Benjamin, my ragdoll cat, who lets humans hold him
amazing.
like he's
Yes.
a baby. And I mean, like, my favorite thing ever is just like when Benny will come up to me and just go, "I find Benjamin. I find
Yeah,
him." And she's just like over there, just like laying with him and petting him
That is
and holding him. And
amazing.
the cats are so good with
Adorable.
kids. They're like they're just like, there's like, Meredith is here. I'm like, yep. And you know what? She didn't bite you at all, did she?
No, she didn't.
And if she did bite you, she wouldn't be poisonous. They're like, that's not what our dad said. I'm like, well,
So good.
There's rumor that you played the bear in Happy Gilmore 2 in the scene where
my
Travis has
God.
honey put on him.
oh
Can you
my
confirm
God.
or deny this rumor?
I can
Oh my
deny.
God, honey,
like,
though.
this is-
honey.
That would've
This
been
is
so
one of those
perfect.
ones where like
Honey,
we'll
I
send it to each
can't.
other and be like, "Hey, did you hear I was the
Oh
bear?"
my
And there he's
God.
like, "Yeah, did you hear we bought a house in
Sorry.
Lake Como?"
Yeah,
Like,
right?
we're just sort of like, at this point, we're just like, of course they think I'm inside of the bear costume. Like, I'm honored to be thought of in that context because I loved that movie so much. I watched it multiple times.
It's great.
Loved it so much. Whoever did the bear acting,
it's something she
was
would
solid
do,
bear.
though, to be fair.
exquisite performance.
To be
Bad
fair.
Bunny and the Bear. Whose idea was arriving to the Eras tour stage via a cleaning cart?
Mine. That's a weird idea that's my type of weird idea.
Where did that come from?
Well, when you're putting on a first show of a tour like that, you're not just performing for the entire stadium, you're performing for the entire internet. And so I wanted to curate and really romanticize the images that they were seeing first. So I didn't want them to see my first outfit and my first look, which would have given away what the first era was before you know,
That's
when I'm
so
walking up the ramp
interesting.
behind the stage, there's all these fans that are seated behind the stage at certain angles
Totally.
where they would have been able to film it. I didn't want that to be the first thing people saw from the Eras tour. I wanted it to be the huge Lover motif, and they're surprised and
Smart.
delighted by the fact that Lover is the first era we're doing. And that's the first time they've seen that Versace bodysuit all lit up, like once the lights hit that
Super
thing,
suit.
it's just like,
Yeah.
oh,
super
I
suit.
love that outfit so much. And so it was really about preserving kind of like the sanctity of a surprise moment, right? So I kind of thought I might only do it for night one, and then I just got attached to it. I was like,
Smart.
I find this fun.
It's the
I
perfect
like,
intro.
It's
It really is.
amazing.
there's a like weird,
I was just gonna say, it's just amazing. I mean, we know this. We know this. She's a detail queen. We know she thinks through every little thing. I mean, she's talked about it, but this is just one example of that. And I love that. I love that. Jenny, who you barking? Who you barking at? You see my Jenny? She's just barking at the door.
little side of me that likes sneaking around. And I think the fans found it funny too. They're like, what a
And very, very
weirdo.
sneaky.
We've come to see a weirdo in concert. Why is she doing that? I don't know. Why did I make it look like a mop cart?
It
I
was
don't know,
funny.
man. There's just so if you can't have fun with the hijinks of this thing, there's enough stress that goes into this. If you can't get joy from silly little things like the mop cart, man,
Yeah.
You need to live a
you're
little.
doing it wrong.
Loosen up.
Live a little.
Loosen up.
She's
Get
right.
into a fake mop cart. Everyone knows you're in there, but you're in there like, I'm sneaking around. Nobody knows I'm in here. Everyone knows you're in there. But it's one of those things, like, I work so hard to try to surprise fans. And they're like, I don't want to be surprised. Sometimes they really don't think they want to be
That's
surprised. They want to
amazing.
figure stuff out.
No, they do.
But then I know that when I can really get them and surprise them, that it was so worth it. Because that's what entertainment is,
No,
really.
I want the
It's just
surprise.
giving
I think
people
that's why I
something
hate
to
Easter
escape,
eggs.
to
I
sink
don't
their
hate
teeth
them.
into,
I want to be surprised.
to like, we're world building, you know?
Yeah,
That's what the
absolutely.
whole tour was. Hopefully people never thought that we'd go on this podcast and announce an album. Like, I was
Yeah.
hoping that that's something that the fans would be like, that's from left field. Like,
Wow.
if we accomplish that, then that's,
She went
And
out with
that's
those two
entertainment.
idiots to release this?
I did not think
Yeah,
that.
things are really getting dark for
Yes.
Taylor.
All right. We ask all of our guests this.
Yep.
What is your welcome to the NFL moment?
oh, I'd say it was the first time I stepped on the field, which would have been when you won the AFC championship.
Baltimore.
The first season that I was with you, and it was in Baltimore,
Mhm.
and we're in the suite, and he's just won the AFC championship. We're freaking out, everybody's screaming, and his mom goes, all right, let's go down to the field. And I was like, what do you mean?
What are you talking about?
We're going, why?
Everyone
we're
died
going where?
for that moment.
And she's
too.
like, we're going down to the field. And I was like, did he say that that's okay? Like, because we hadn't talked about this. There was no like, hey, if I
didn't
win
want
this
to jinx.
game.
I didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah, he
Yeah, of
doesn't.
course.
He doesn't jinx anything, which I respect. Actually, like, I'm all about that.
So cute.
But we hadn't had a conversation about it, so I'm like, is he gonna be like, what are you doing down here, dude? You
No,
just,
it was
you don't
Mama
wanna be
knows best.
presumptuous.
Mama
like,
knows best. She knew I wanted
and
you
so
down
she
there.
was like, he trust me, he wants you there. And I was like, okay, well, she would know. And so I'm walking out onto this field, and it's
Totally.
just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's so, there's so many lights.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
I've never seen this many cameras. I've never seen this much media in my life, and I've seen a lot of media.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the media sees me, and they're like, ah! And then they just start running at me, and I'm looking at you, and then you're screaming into the mic, because when there's a mic and there's Travis, like, he physically needs to scream into it.
Of course.
I love her talking about this.
That's
So
like, I just,
cool.
so basically I'm experiencing this whole heightened scenario that I had no idea 5 minutes before I was going to be experiencing. And it's one of my most cherished memories, because I was
Me
so
too.
proud of you. And
I was so proud that you came down there to enjoy that moment.
it was so magical. It was so fun. It's like crazy. It's crazy to get to see someone you love work that
So
hard,
cute.
and then have that kind of like euphoric payoff where you're like,
For sure.
you did it. Like, you
I'm
did it
gushing.
underlined 100 times. You did, like, you did it. What do
Human
you
exclamation
mean?
point.
What do you mean you're going to the Super Bowl? That's crazy. Like, yeah, I had such a great rookie year. It was crazy.
It was a great year. What is your welcome to, like, I don't know if it's like singer, like being a pop star,
Performing?
being a performer. Yeah. What is your
That's
welcome
so
to the
cute.
industry moment in that regard?
Oh my God. Man, I actually never really allowed myself to feel like the you've arrived thing.
Sure.
I've just now started to be able to really be in a moment when I'm in the moment. That's why I'm so glad that the Eras Tour happened when I'm an adult, because I was able to completely and totally soak in these moments. Well, I'm planning obviously what I'm doing next in the show, but like when I'm at the end of that show and I'm standing there taking it in, that's me 100% present. But starting to do this when I was putting out my first album when I was like 16, I was always on to the next plan. And that I get joy in planning. So it's not like I wasn't happy with that, but I never allowed myself to say, you've arrived, you've made it. I was always like, how are you going to get to make the next project? And it was all about, it was all about the higher I climbed, the more creative control I had and the more fun I had making stuff. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was not the altitude I was reaching. There was more pressure every step of the way, but I was getting more creative control and freedom every time.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that is why
true.
it felt so much more special to keep working harder to get to new levels. It's not like, oh, like I can afford to buy this or whatever. Like it not to discount that.
Yeah.
But for me, every time I got higher up on a new rung of the ladder, I could make stuff in a more focused and free and autonomous way.
What else would you want as an artist?
I never really let myself be like, I've made it. But the Eras Tour, I was like, oh,
shit.
This is different. Like this is nothing like what I've ever experienced before. It was so much better than anything
And
I've
literally
ever
while
experienced before.
she's doing that, she's still creating the next thing.
Yeah,
That's what's crazy to me.
I love it. I love
Live show Sweden. Yeah, that's what
it's I adore what I do. I absolutely love it, and I love then taking the songs and writing a treatment for a music video and directing the music video. Like all of the things that I get to do now, I'm so grateful for the ability to create. Like that's still what drives all of it.
Well, us Swifties appreciate your dedication.
We are very grateful for this as well.
Thanks, guys.
All righty. Do you have any
So cool.
questions?
Tay, Tay.
And on that note,
Now you know.
thanks for having me.
Yay! Tay, thank you so much for hopping on. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you so much for hopping on. You are the best. This has been a blast.
So cute.
I think
Oh, cute. I'm so glad. Thank you to all the, I got a few comments letting me know that I missed a bunch. So thank you guys for that. And I'm so happy to have been able to watch that little bit and react to it. This has been so much fun. Let me know your hot takes on the track listing, which ones you're most excited about. I really want to hear. And I will see you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day and week. And I'll see you guys for the next video. Goodbye.